Hey guys, Matt Science here, and today I am back in r/EntitledPeople. I don't think I've done this subreddit in quite a while. At least I don't think so. Probably 2 months, maybe. But today I have 3 stories lined up all around handicapped people, or the perception of them at least. Let's start off with an SFW story. 2 entitled girls around 16 and 17 confused about how I had a baby because I use a wheelchair, and the issue with dating apps. So I am a mother to an amazing 8-year-old boy, but this is a story about when he was a wee 8-week-old baby. Because I used a manual wheelchair at the time, I carried him around in a dark blue baby sling wrapped around my chest, like a little hammock. That day my coat was also dark blue and camouflaged him while he slept. There was a big bump on the bus and it woke him up, so I sat him up to see the world. And suddenly I hear a scream to my side. I turn my head and 3 teenagers are pointing at me. They're around 16 and 17 years old and in school uniform, and one of them asks, "Oh my god, is that a real baby?" "Yes, this is his name." I waved his hand and said hello for him. "Is that your baby?" Yeah. "But how? If your legs don't work?" I wiggled my legs in the air to show I have use of them. I just can't walk very well, and I get dislocations in all of my joints. So it's dangerous for me to walk, especially carrying him the usual way. And coup de grace? Oh, so you're just lazy. Then they pressed their bell to get off the bus. I hadn't noticed the bus had stilled to a whisper, with everyone entranced by the idiocy of the conversation. But a little old woman cracked attention, and I still remember it to this day. Old woman, what are these kids learning in sex ed? On a separate issue, but of a similar note, on dating sites, I have to write, "Yes, I can still have sex, and feel it too. Stop asking." Because I made it clear I use a wheelchair, and everyone assumes I'm paralyzed. Wow. I don't understand. Wheelchair doesn't mean paralyzed. Also, you need legs to be working for sex. This is like the one story where I'll allow the word sex to be used because it's like, it's part of the story. I just love, it's like, you need your legs to be running around while you're doing it? It's like, I need to be doing it on the move. Woo! I need to use it to push off the bed. And Tyler Karen wants to use my wheelchair at antique store. The cast. Me, myself, and I. Nels, old man, though he doesn't speak. Harriet, Karen. My husband and I rent a display place in an antique consignment store for our collective side hustles. I quilt and crochet. My husband sells custom die-cast cars and diorama supplies. Oh, maybe Jigsaw bought some from him. Every few weeks we go in and restock our space. This store is very large and can be a bit of a maze, and the store has designated rest stops throughout the aisles. One is across from our space. The store does not provide mobility aids for customers, so it is a BYO if you need a walker or wheelchair. I'm a wheelchair user as I'm paralyzed from an L2 SCI. Don't know what that is. My husband and I were at the store restocking the space. My husband had just left to make one of our totes out of our van, leaving me in our space sorting through my tote that the baby sets I make. That was grammar. When I hear someone huffing behind me, I didn't pay too much attention to it, thinking that someone might be taking a break at the rest stop. I was just finishing laying out my sets on the table in our space when the person at the rest stop decided to talk to me. "Do you know it still has wheelchairs for people to use?" I look up from my task and see an elderly couple across from our space. The old man is standing next to the bench, looking kind of annoyed, while the woman has flopped on the bench in an "I can't take another step" kind of way. I honestly was concerned that she might have been having a medical issue, as she was rather plump. "Are you okay?" I ask. I'm about to tell her or her partner to use the phone above the bench to reach the staff desk for help. "This door is too beeping big," Harriet exclaims. "I can't walk anymore." The store has a chair for medvac use. One of the employees could bring it to you if you need help leaving. But we're not done shopping. I don't think they have wheelchairs to borrow. They've had issues with rowdy kids riding mobility scooters, so they do not provide them. But if you use the phone above you, you can ask a staff member. Just dial 1 and it will connect you to the desk staff. There is a sign next to the phone that states this. Harriet seems to be thinking about her options, so I go about my work. Nels wanders down the aisle, possibly looking for an escape route. "What about the wheelchair that you're sitting in?" This is my personal wheelchair. It doesn't belong to the store. "Can I borrow it?" What? Surely she's not asking to take my chair to go shopping. "I want to use the wheelchair. You're young enough that you could stand to walk for a bit. I'll bring it back." "Ma'am, I can't stand at all. I've been a paraplegic since I was 12. This wheelchair is not store issued. It is my personal property that costs a lot of money. If you call the staff, maybe they can let you use the medical chair, or maybe they know of someone has in their space that you can buy. But I will not give you my wheelchair, and I cannot help you." At this point, I have rolled out of our space. I decided to head towards the door and just leave. Rumor has it Harriet is still sitting on the bench, waiting for someone to give her a wheelchair. Why do you feel like, "Oh, you're young enough, I can use your wheelchair"? Okay, do you want me to be an acrobatic and walk my hands? Like, goddamn. Entitled couple in Handicap section. Picture it. 2008. A Midwestern mall with a movie theater. And Twilight had just come out. Oh, yeah. Suck a year. Then. I was around 13 at the time, and I wanted to go so badly. The only issue was, my mother wouldn't let me go by myself. She made my old sister go with me. Now, some quick context. My sister is severely physically disabled and requires the use of a motorized wheelchair. She has an extremely rare form of MD that even mentioning it would potentially out her identity. She is an amazing sister and begrudgingly agreed to be my chaperone, despite being a much cooler older teen than I was. Unfortunately, my sister requires around-the-clock care. On a good day when no one calls off, she has an aide or assistant during the day and a nurse at night. The nurse who drove us there is a phenomenal Amazon of a woman who is a combat vet and towers over most people. She was making fun of the movie the whole drive, but she was secretly excited to see it. This was back in the day before you could select your seats. We got to the theatre plenty early, but there was still a long line down the mall hallway to get tickets. When we got up to the counter, the nurse asked if the handicap section was open. The ticket person responded that it had to be. They only allow wheelchair users to use that area during high interest movies on opening night. I'm not sure if you ever sat in the handicap section, but I couldn't stand it. The seats are always too close to the screen, and I always felt like people were staring at us. Mortifying to a preteen. So I could not grasp why the section was not only open, but completely full of non-wheelchair users when we got in, despite there being other seats open. There are a plethora of reasons why someone could need to sit here that may not be feasible to others. However, there is one specific seat that is designed for wheelchairs to fit in and out of the way of the aisle, with two seats next to it for their companions. The three of us approached the couple sitting in these seats, and you could already tell the woman was mortified. She started to gather up her things to move, but her boyfriend stopped her. "Oh, so the boyfriend's gonna be the a-hole here." "Excuse me, sir. Sorry to ask, but we have a wheelchair and kind of need those seats." "Can she go over there?" Points to a completely random empty space with no seats around it. And the nurse is like, "She has to have someone by her at all times." "Well, you guys should have gone here earlier then." "This is how it's gonna be then." "Huh?" The nurse then told me to stay with my sister and left to grab the manager. The manager comes back in and takes one look at my sister, looks at the couple, and is clearly shocked. Sir, you have to move. We got here first. I understand that, but these seats are reserved for wheelchair users. Man, this is BS. You all take the best seats and save them for people who can't even understand the movie. My sister's name. Can you understand the movie? Well, I didn't read the book. Oh my god, she can speak! Nervously looking back and forth between us and the couple. Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. If you don't, I have to get security and you will not get a refund on your ticket. Go ahead. I'm not moving. And so, the manager did just that. The guy seemed to have no problem getting up when this big hulking man came and made him, while our Amazonian protector was staying daggers down at him. I feel a little bad for the girlfriend that she apologized profusely as they were leaving. The manager came in clutch and gave us free tickets. So all was well in the end on our side. But seriously, people, if you're going to have the audacity to sit in a section clearly designed for those less able-bodied than you are, please move if someone needs shows up. Gotta love the boyfriend is just like, no, this is my seat. No, this is my seat. You can't take it from me. This is my seat. Oh, fine. The big guy shows up. Fine, I'm moving. You just lost business. They're not the best seats in the house, man. You're literally like this for the whole movie, or like that for the whole movie, staring up at the screen. It's like, dude really wants to accelerate blindness in his life. Might have time for one more. Last story for today. She didn't believe I had autism, so she choked me. So this happened a while ago when I was little, probably about 7 or 8, I'm not sure. I was diagnosed with autism, Asperger's syndrome, at a very young age, as well as ADHD. I was also in Girl Scouts. This happened at the Girl Scout Jamboree, where a bunch of Girl Scout troops went out to a large field, set up tents to sleep in, had a cookout, and did some other educational stuff, I don't know. It was after dinner. I didn't like the food, so I ate a Cheeto sandwich. Not Cheerio. Don't ask. And finished early while everyone else was still eating. So I wandered down to a large dip in the ground. Pretty sure it was one of those irrigation ponds that only fill up when it's raining, but it was dry then. And was standing around doing who knows what when a girl, well, we can call EG, because she was the entitled villain of our story. I had some problems with EG before. She always bragged and liked to one-up people, and I was an annoying brat who argued with everything everyone says. It was a while ago, so I don't remember everything that happened, but the conversation went like this. Why are you so rude and annoying? Probably because I have autism. Probably not why. No, you don't. Yes, I do. I have autism. It's a brain disease. No, you don't. You're lying. I'm going to tell your mum that you are lying. I'm not lying. Go away. I turned to walk away, and I remember everything that happened next very clearly. The girl started yelling and grabbed my shirt to stop me from walking away. When she yanked it, the collar was pulled up to my neck, and it strangled me. I remember it hurting and it being hard to breathe. So I was screaming and crying. I jerked away from her and ran up the hill, where I crouched behind a tree and hid while bawling my eyes out. EG's mum came to see what was going on, and I could hear the conversation from where I was. EG's mum, what's going on? She said she had autism. She was lying. Mum is now angry. I'm gonna do this. She does have autism. Oh. Yeah, yeah, we ended up not sleeping in the tents because it rained. I see the ADHD peeking through at the end there. I just love that. Oh. It's like, but how dumb do you need to be? Anyways, on that choking note, I'm going to end this episode here. Links will be in the description to the main channel and the second channel if you guys go check out. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know if it comes out. A ding, a ding. I'm the Mad Scientist. Mad Scientist out.